Coding overloaded. G'day, Mike. Yeah, my code is still overloaded. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't you dare overload. Alright, I think we're good. I think. Yep, it's behaving itself. Anyway, so yes, hello Mike. Seems like management are going to get too many people tonight in a hurry because everybody won't have remembered me anymore. I'm a forgotten entity because I've been away from streaming for so long. Hey Bobby. Guess I better get my gloves on. As you guys can probably tell, the bench top's different. I've got white laminate bench tops. I did take a video of me installing everything, but I'll put that together later. And yeah, everything's been a fair bit of disarray, so now I've got to catch up. I also have had visitors here for quite a bit, and although they haven't actually been in the house or anything like that, just how it goes, disrupts the flow of things. It's bright, yes. Just got a phone call if you're that's okay, yeah, no, I wasn't saying profound amount, I was just saying hello. I was just working on a circuit board for BMW. Unfortunately, the board is too corroded under the connector and they wanted to replace. So, which BMW is it for? Anyway, what we're doing here is replacing the the front screen of this 4S. Nothing exotic. Looks like I haven't turned it off. Sort of thing hopefully I can do in my sleep, because it's currently 1:30 almost in the morning. Yeah, Mike, with the iPhone camera, I guess the real problem is, are you trying to live stream or are you trying to just do an edited recording? Because if you do an edited recording, it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, this has been handled by some other people in town by the looks of it, and it's had a new battery put in that's not one of mine. You can tell because it's got a mark here where they've blanked out where it says Apple something. Yeah, that was probably to get it through customs. And that looks a little weird and wonky. And looks like someone's butchered the antenna cable. How the hell do people butcher the antenna cable on a 4S, really? Oops. Maybe like that. I don't know what the vibration is going to be like on this new bench top. Hopefully it won't be too bad, because you may notice obviously I've got the close-up camera sitting on the bench, whereas previously when I tried to do that it'd jump around every time I made a move. But these laminate tops should be fairly solid. Oh, g'day Lynn. Oh, 320i, same one I had. Which year was that one? The E36 or one of the more recent ones? I noticed they ripped off the plastic tab, the bastards. I mean, I know it happens, but usually what you're supposed to do is when that happens is you replace it. Instead, they've left it for me to try and make a mistake. I actually feel like I'm a bit out of practice with the live streams. Let's see if I can get this out without butchering it. It's pretty soft. Yeah. I'm being very gentle with the spudger, pulling the battery out. See, I didn't really leave any marks there. Wow, they've actually wiped out everything that says Apple. And this is March 2015. What a joke. I know I have worked on this phone last year. Oh man, check out the... Yeah, let's see. I've got fixed focus on, so all the adhesive is just mangled up here. These people are real cowboys. I mean, how hard is it to do a reasonably nice job of this sort of work? It's not like it's a difficult phone to work on. I mean, sure, it's got a bunch of steps, but it's not a difficult phone. I'm gonna have to replace that. Oh, okay. Alright, so just changing over the boards in 320. Fair enough. I used to have an E36 320. I loved that thing. And unfortunately, I had to leave it in Africa. Which was unfortunate for me. Ah, come on. I get the feeling I'm going to find a bunch of mangled stuff here. I do hopefully have some good news. 12 months ago another store opened up in Main Street. Oh lovely, they didn't put the bloody compression pad there. That's nice. Anyway, another store opened up in Main Street, which obviously they had the advantage, and they left off the protector. There's, a little black cover on that. They've left that off. These are all small things, but it tends to tell me a lot about who worked on it. Yeah, so 12 months ago they rocked up, opened up a store in Main Street, and they gobbled up about, I'd say about 30-40%. What the... My door just opened. My door just opened, and now I've got to wonder why. And I have a horrible suspicion there's a kitty cat in here. They even managed to bend this. How'd they bend that? Jeez. Well, at least they didn't break the Wi-Fi connector off. I get that a little too often. G'day Kraj and ITM2. I've been redoing my workshop, and I've had visitors, and I mean they haven't really been in the house or anything like that, but it's just enough to throw your routines out. You can't really get things done. But I'd say mostly it's because I've been redoing the workshop. And let's see, maybe I can get away with this. Huh, lucky me. I'm supposed to undo these flexors before I unscrewed everything. Oh well. I still haven't ordered the microscope yet. That the donations won't turn up until probably about the 25th of July, and then I can, at that point, order the microscope. I've got the one I want all lined up. Just a case of being patient now. So it's not really going to be an interesting stream tonight. It's just more a case of, I thought I'd pop on. I had to get this job done. I thought I'd pop on and say hello, let you know I'm not dead. But then again, any of you who have been watching the Lewis Rossman streams or things like that probably would have seen me popping in there. Alright. Oh, so how's the vibration on the camera? Is it jumping around or is it staying pretty stable? Hey, John's touchpad. Hardest part for me on those is messing with the standoffs with the scrape. Yeah, Bobby, you'll probably notice when I undo mine, I rest my finger right against the driver, and that stops them sliding off the. Oh man, they put the washers on. I hate it when they do this. Another, yeah, this is a real cowboy. This person, whoever did it. The washer is supposed to sit on the inside with the head of the screw, but it's a bit. When you put the screen back down, if you're in a hurry, the washer often gets between the screen fork and the chassis. The little bastards don't fix that up. I'm going to give this person the worst score imaginable for this one. I'm going to give them a A-. Actually, I'd give them something far worse than that, but then that'd ruin the joke. Oh geez, they didn't even bond the... They've bonded nothing down. Wow. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, about these cowboys, whoever they were. I heard rumours the other day that people were finding it hard to get a hold of them, and so I go down and it seems like they're closing up. So that's what happens when you open up on Main Street. That's an extra $2.5 grand a month that you've got to come up with, and it's not easy in this town. Especially, it's just weird. It's especially if you haven't done your research and find out that there is already an existing person servicing iPhones in the town. Anyway, they did hurt my income quite a bit. I think I probably lost about 30% of my take over the last 12 months. So here's hoping I can bounce back, and then combined with the microscope, I should be able to start doing mail order jobs, which will then give me a little bit more security, isolate me a little bit from the activities of the town. Yeah. Camera is stable, thank you very much. No camera ring, I bet too. No camera ring, no camera ring. Not sure what you mean. What do you mean by camera ring? Sorry. I can be a little bit slow sometimes. Just getting all the old adhesive off before I put a new one on. Oh no, camera ring on the yep, I know what you mean. Let me have a look. Yep, no camera ring. Yeah, completely missing. It's not even in there. Good call. The stupid thing is, they're not even pressed that hard for time here. They wouldn't be doing more than a couple of these a day at best, because when it was just me doing the jobs here in town, I would at the very most get 4 or 5 of these a week. That's it. So they can't have been that hard pressed for time. It's just laziness. Laziness and not caring about your job. And I agree, 90% of the time you probably can get away with it with these phones. I mean, you do get away with it. But yeah, it's nice to know you've done your best job. Let's hope I don't tear this cable. I hate tearing that cable on the iPhone 4S. It's just a nuisance to replace it. Alright. That there has no stick at all. Let's see if I've got a replacement. Not a great fan of the 3M replacement stickers for these phones. I find they generally don't really do much of a job. They're too thin. They don't have that thickness of body. I better put these washers away somewhere. Ah, g'day Amy. Amy, is someone organised to get you hot air stations and stuff like that? I think Paul was talking about it this morning on Lewis's stream. Okay. Right, I've thoroughly dirtied up this napkin. I better get a new one. Throw this one in the bin. I'm going to try real hard to keep this bench clean. It's probably going to last all of, I don't know, a couple of weeks at best. Yeah. I need another napkin. Where's my napkins? I don't have them. Oh well, I'll use a paper roll. Actually, I better go check to see what came into the room to open the door. Couldn't see anything. It might have actually just been wind pressure. Air pressure, rather. Okay, what do I need? I'm going to need some bonding strips. I've already got my new screen. Bonding strips. Oh, and a battery strip. Alright, audio's back on. Let's have a look. Let's see if we've got 4S. What are you guys? Nope, you're iPhone 4. And your iPhone 4S. My cat lays at my feet when I work. Bobby, mine like to actually get on my lap which is a little bit of a nuisance when you're trying to work. I mean, it's all cute and everything, but can tend to inhibit you a little bit. That napkin doesn't sit nicely. Alright. Start bottom ones. The other thing I often see is people don't take out the little cutouts here. I mean, I can understand leaving the actual adhesive layer on there, but because it doesn't really change anything. But leaving the paper on there, it somewhat defeats the whole purpose of even having the bonding layer there in the first place, because the paper will push the screen up above it. I remember when the 4S first came out, and I'd just sort of finished getting used to the iPhone 4, and the 4S popped up and someone handed me one. I was like, how am I going to do this? It's got so many more steps to it. And now, looking back, the 4 and the 4S, you sort of do them in your sleep. To be fair, the iPhone 5 series is substantially easier again. But it's always the case, if something new comes along, it feels a little daunting at first. So I hope to get to the point where I'm wealthy enough that I can just buy a couple of the phones outright and have a shot at pulling them apart, seeing how they go. And if I botch it up, oh well, no biggie. Oh good, glad to hear that, Amy. Glad to hear that. Paul's certainly an extremely generous person, and it seems he's out to help a lot of people in our industry, which is really nice to see. And hopefully, when other people, when those people become, more successful or whatever, they in turn sort of pay it forward, as it were. Alright, I hope this new screen has it's got a camera ring built into it. I don't know about other people, but I tend to typically knock that camera ring off, but we'll see how this one goes. And I mean, oops, almost forgot my thing. Amazingly, this home button is actually intact. It just needs some tape to hold it down. Where's my tape? Where's my tape? Hello, Deisner. Alright, let's see, what width should I use? I've noticed some people like to bond the home button directly onto the face, onto the chassis, rather than onto the screen. So, I'll use some 3mm. Come on, where are you? Ah, there you are. Okay. I did also buy some new lights for the office, but I haven't had a chance to install them. They're a bunch of Osram 12.5 watt 1.2 meter long units. And the nice thing is you can chain them. What? Why didn't you stick? Why are you no stick? Don't do this to me. We'll do it the cheats way. I'll take a rough estimate as to where it should be and we'll put it down there. Isn't it unworth to work on a 4S? No, it's still, for me here, it's still profitable to work on a 4S. I make a good turn of income for this one. I mean, I know some of the super cheap fast stores that like to botch these up, they maybe make $20 out of it, which is pretty much nothing, whereas I tend to make a fair bit more than that. You need to up a little bit more. Ah, damn it. Seeing downside, trying to align the button so that it isn't too far out of acceptable customer. What's going on here? Oh, now you're too far the other way. Oh no, you're perfect. Perfect. Beautiful. Certainly if you're only making 20 bucks or something out of the job, then yeah, it's not worth it. But yeah, I make, like I said, a fair bit more than that. Alright, why don't you... What's going on? It looks like I'm going to have to knock that camera ring off. As usual, they are never aligned. I should have trusted my instincts in the first place. Oh, thanks, Amy. Dizer, I pretty much repair all the iPhones currently except the 6S Plus and the 7s, but all the others I'll do. I won't do Samsung's. That's not because of any ideological issues with Samsung, but just simply they're not worth the risk. And as usual, the ring that comes with the screen is too small, doesn't fit properly. I'll go get an original one. Alright. Should have a couple in here. That looks about right. I was lucky last week, my containers were on special again, and yeah, so I picked up another bunch of them. It's crazy, as quick as I buy these containers, I seem to use them up. Alright, that fits perfect. It's going to be a little bit of a pushback because there's a bit of a glue ring down there, but nothing I can really do about that, unfortunately, because if I try to scratch that glue off, I'm just going to punch right through the black paint. And that will make me sad. Alright. Okay, so that's sitting in properly now. Okay, do the corner ones. I just realised the little protective black cover that should normally be in this corner on the screw, that wasn't in there. This phone has got so many things missing. The worst thing is I can't even replace them. Which one haven't I done? Oh, that one. Crudgy, well, it's sort of Saturday. The sun hasn't come up yet, so it's not yet Sunday. But yeah, thought I'd better try and get back into streaming. Just been a bit busy with the renovations. I will finish up the video of the renovations and upload that. Fortunately, it will be high speed. I think I've got it 20 speed. And I am pleased to say there was no bloodletting, thankfully. Although my body is still almighty upset with me. So, what are you doing, man? What's all this hard labour you're doing? Stop it, stop it. And the fact that I did it for 3 days. So you're crazy, you're trying to kill us. Anyway, it's punishing me now. My body's definitely punishing me at the moment. I think about 4 o'clock this morning I was woken up by some pain. It was like all of a sudden in my chest, in my lung area. It was like, hey buddy, how you feeling? Can you breathe? Can you breathe? We're going to not let you breathe properly. Yeah, it's just a pulled muscle in my chest. But I gotta tell you, if you're a person who suffers anxiety, and in particular anxiety about medical issues, that's really not the sort of way you want to be waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, that's good. Happy Canada Day, 150 years of unity. Interesting that Canada Day is on the same day, or is it, of Hong Kong Independence Day? Okay, speaker, all the tabs are in, that's good. Oh yeah, the top right screw. Yeah, you basically always got to angle it in, and then it chews out your driver. Yeah, I know what you mean, Bobby. And new Samsungs are risky. I won't work on anything but broken screens, and always was with the frame. Yeah, I mean, as it was, the S3 and the S4 were bad enough. It was okay, and then I don't know what happened, but the quality just plummeted, and I was getting people bringing them back a couple of days after. Genuinely just was sitting there on their desk or whatever, and then pop, the screen dies. And after I had a couple of those, I thought, that's it, I'm never doing these again. I just don't have the profit margins, or I don't have the turnover rather, to cope with that sort of impact, especially when it's like a $200 screen. So I swore off them. I have been wanting to order a proper driver for those standoffs. I noticed that Jess of iPad Rehab has them. So I was going to get them along with one of the iPhone 6 hex drivers for that odd screw that sits up there. But there was some shipping issues coming to Australia, so hopefully she'll get back to me on that soon. Some tray in, Wi-Fi down. See a lot of people who managed to mangle that Wi-Fi putting it down. I mean, I know no one really cares about the 4 or the 4S anymore, but around here they're very popular because they've got the reception quality, which I know seems a bit strange given the you're holding it wrong dramas of the iPhone 4S, I think it was. But that aside, overall the reception is much better than the 5s and the 6s out here. Okay, that's good. Lock you two down. And look at that, both of them have got compression pads on them, just like they should be. Sometimes I wonder if the stores don't put compression pads on them so that when the person drops the phone, they've got themselves an easy fix. Now, I thought that screw felt funny coming out of there. The hole for it is elongated quite badly. Really, what are these people doing to these? Oh, and they've broken the circuit board. Oh, why? Why? Oops, no, put that away. Get back in there. I think what frustrates me most is with the other store that was in town, as their prices were actually the same as mine, and but because they were new and exciting, people ran off to them, and that's fair enough. But then there was no outcry publicly on the community groups when everybody's phones started coming back mangled and things like that. It's all like, oh no, we can't say anything about that. So anyway, I'm just griping. Because today is the first day of the new financial year here in Australia for most people. So it's a new start. Pardon me. Get myself that microscope, get those mail orders rolling in. Things are going to be a bit better. Wrong side. Okay, that's... What do you got on there? Something. Is the right one? Lo and behold, it actually is the right one. My supplier drove me to madness a few months ago because I wanted to order replacement iPhone 5 battery bonding strips, and they kept sending me 4S ones. I was like, I can't use these. So, I mean, sure, I can butcher them to make it fit, only just because of the fact they just stick. I was like, give me the 5 ones, give me the 5 ones. They said, okay, here you go, here's the proper 5 ones, we'll send you a whole heap. And they did, and they were 4S ones. And I was like, what's going on here? You guys, why do you keep sending me 4S ones? And I've given up on getting iPhone 6 or 5C or 5S silicon strips, because the ones that I keep getting, they're too thin, and so they stick the battery perfectly well, but then if you ever got to remove that battery, you're stuffed, because as soon as you try to pull on them, they just snap, and they're distinctly thinner than the Apple ones. Alright, that's good. Give it a bit of a push, make sure it bonds, otherwise it just floats around. Oh, has anyone noticed if your battery is floating around, physically just jumping around in the phone, it will do that reset where you have to do the home plus lock combination to unlock it. What I'm curious about is, why does it do that? Where's my other 1.5? Oh, there it is. It's on the end of my screw tip. Chris Wong. Oh no. Hello, Chris. Yes, I'm alive. Looks like I missed a ton of chat. I'm sorry. I'm now looking back. Oh, g'day, fixing things? Sorry, yeah. Get some German screwdriver, the Weha or whatever it is. Start the standoffs with the Phillips and tighten with the straight blade. Oh, okay. Do I know audiotech.com.au? I don't know them. I'll have a look. And then Chris turns up and the whole channel goes to crap. Ah, g'day, Englishman in Brazil. Kick yourself when you mark it. I probably will, yeah. Chris, you talking about dongs again? You've got an obsession with the purple dongs, don't you, Chris? It's a sad, sad little problem you have. Alright, let's see if this goes in, slides in. Well, we've got the logo, so I'm happy. For me, I think the scariest moment with doing screen replacements or any work on the iPhones is that second or two where you got to wait, holding down the lock button or the on-off button, whatever you want to call it, and waiting for that Apple logo to come up. Particularly if you've got a dud button and you sit there and you're like, it's not coming up, it's not coming up, what have I done, what have I done, what have I done? Yeah. Alright, you're a piece of junk because you're a... There we go. And you can go in the bin. So much rubbish, so much rubbish. I do hate that. It's like I look at all this plastic and paper and stuff and I'm thinking, yeah, that's just gonna go into the rubbish and no one's ever gonna reuse that. That was probably like a 1,000 mosquitoes from 10 million years ago that died to make that plastic. Let's see. Oh, g'day Stray 77. Alrighty. Well, I guess we're done. Touch works. Let's see. That works? Yep. That work? Yep. That work? Yep. What about you? Yep. Emergency? I should make a 000 call on this. So, okay, ringer switch works. Naturally, of course, you can't change it. Alright, I'm good. I will be able to get my money for that. Huzzah! Put it into the... Alright, and put it on the out tray. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, what the hell? Idiots driving their goddamn V8s 2 o'clock in the morning thinking no one's gonna notice they're there. Actually, I don't think they think that. They just don't care. No. Let's see. No. More rubbish. Right. Hold on to you. Alright. Let's see. Now I can actually look at the camera, lean back, let my gut out. Actually, my gut's been out the whole time. And see what's going on. Oh, g'day Joshua. Amy, you should make tiny food live streams. We're talking about mukbang. What do you mean, like miniature food? Literally, like physically in size. Have you seen those Japanese little food kits? And they're like little, and they've got little. You add water and you mix it or whatever, and you make all the different parts of the burger, and the whole thing is barely an inch in size, maybe smaller. Hamster-sized burgers and cakes. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's pretty cool watching people do those things. Are they actually edible? That's the only thing I don't know yet. Are they edible? Right. Cool. Story time. I don't have any fancy stories today. Oh, I can show you the workbenches. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna fill in all the undersides with like shelves and cupboards and things like that. And that's the old section down there. That's where I normally do my iPhone repairs, but when I'm doing live stream I have to come over to this workbench. And let's see this. And there's all the hot air work, soldering, rework stuff. and I've had to shift my light assembly around. I've got my ultrasonic over there. So yeah, it's coming along. It's just going to take a while, and I've got to work out where I'm going to put this microscope at some point. Okay, Nate. So tidy. Do you need more work? Chris, it's only tidy because I finished cleaning it up about 15 minutes before I started the stream, and it's not going to last for very long. I'd say, well, yeah, maybe tomorrow it might last. See, let's see, have a look. Where is it? Behind the rubbish bin there, you can see there's about 5 tote boxes and a desktop PC. They've all got laptops and things that need to have work done on them. So yeah, it's going to turn into a mess by tomorrow. Going all high-tech professional, yeah, if you mean high-tech professional but clean, yeah, that's sure. It's not going to last very long. So it's something I'm constantly fighting with, is keeping my workshop clean. I mean, I know it's what I should be doing. I know that after every job I should clean up and start with a fresh bench, because particularly with things like laptops and phones, because you want to know when you clean the bench, if there's any parts left after you've done the job, you go, okay, well, I haven't put that part into the phone, or at least in theory. But somehow or another, I just can't seem to maintain that. So that's something that would drive Lewis Rossman insane, I know, because I know he is trying hard to impart that quality onto Jason. I don't know how successful he's been with that. Is that a 20-pound spool of solder? Yeah, it's two. Yeah, here we go. That and that. I didn't realise I had one already, and so I ordered another one because it was on special. What have we got? We've got multi-core and we've got multi-comp. So, and other things that I've wasted my money on is like that. Just kidding, Chris. I just got to taunt you. I have those screwdrivers, but I don't have the O-rings that make them usable. Yeah, okay. What I've found is, well, you should be able to just go to the hardware store or the car parts store or something. You should be able to find O-rings that size. But what I've found is generally I chew out the Phillips head tips on the finer ones quicker than I use up the O-rings, so I've got a few spares and I just steal the O-rings from those. Oh, by the way, the discharger unit, that's, again, just the focus is fecked on that. See if this is doing any better. No, even worse. Okay, let's focus off, update, no. Hard to say. Where is my mouse? But yeah, I got the proper resistors finally for the discharger, and it works good. Drops it down to about 3.75, so I'm happy with that. But at this point, I'm now waiting for the circuit boards for the big discharge charge analyzer unit. It's going to end up a 2x4 inch for those of you who live in the land of the Imperials. It's already submitted. I don't know when it's going to be finished. It usually takes a week and then about 3 days for delivery through TNT Express. Once it arrives, I'll probably need a couple of days just to get it started, because after I've soldered all the parts on, I'm going to have to then start programming it. So, good day, Sanaka. Whoa, man, chat's going along way faster than I'm ready. On the other desk, big shining spools. I didn't see there's a big fan on there. can't see much else. It'd be an optical illusion, there's nothing else up there. Let's see. Stray 77, yeah, the board with the Bluetooth module, that's the one that I'm waiting to arrive. The whole crew. 2%. Fuck up. Alright, fuck you. There we go. Yeah, well, looks like we're at least attracting the interesting people now. Oh, g'day, Miles. Some people, really, you gotta wonder what gets into these people that they decide they want to jump into a stream and make comments like that. It's like, what's the point? Like, why did you expend your effort into doing this? So, good. Oh, that's right, Chris. How is your, now that you got the wisdoms out, was it as bad as you thought it was going to be? Just don't eat peanuts or anything like that for a couple of weeks, and do not be surprised if you feel something sharp coming out of your gums after a week or two, or maybe even a month. That is just shattered enamel, typically, that gets embedded in the gums and comes out just naturally. Just warning you there. Chris, I think you've almost surpassed me now too on subscribers. Okay, Nate, thanks for dropping in. I'm going to have a look at Chris Long stats. 1,311. My goodness, you're catching up so fast. And I have... What the heck? That is weird. That was weird how that jumped over into the other window, because I didn't tell it to. Puffed up like a chipmunk. 4 impacted wisdom teeth removed, 2 black eyes and everything. Oh, that's brutal, Stray. I had 3 taken out, and that was back in 1996. They didn't have room for me in the surgical rooms to be able to do it in time, so I had it done at the local surgical dentist, and they just did it in the chair. I had to do 2 sessions, one side first and then the other. They were planning to take all 4 out, but the 4th one, it was acceptably straight, and also I already had a tooth removed on that side, so it was a good coincidence. The other 3 were all bulldozing forward and messing up my mouth, so yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think it was just the long wait and being awake and having people like standing on your chest, sort of, well, okay, not standing, but people on your chest and yanking around. Yeah, it was no real, it was just boring as anything. CryJ 2000, had room, didn't have to mess with all that. Yeah, CryJ, give it another, by the time you hit your 50 and 60s, they'll probably, your mouth will cramped up and there'll be time to take something out. It's crazy sound hearing the dentist break the tooth out of my jawbone. But yeah, it is. It's it's a little unnerving, I agree. I think for me the worst surgical sort of incident I've had is, I think I was 13, 14, something like that. And I've got ingrown toenail issues and whatnot at that age, and a lot of people do. But after about the 3rd or 4th attempt to do the normal way, they said, no, well, look, we're just going to wedge it. And for those who don't know, wedging is a process whereby they cut diagonally the flesh at the base of your toenail either side, and then peel it back, that flap, and then they grind out the on the bone where the nail comes out, like a couple of millimeter each side. And up until that point, I was pretty happy-go-lucky when it came to surgical things. I was like, yeah, well, whatever, yeah. But during the procedure, I could hear and feel this strange sensation. I was like, and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, you really don't want to know. And I said, oh, what are you doing? He says, I'm scraping the nail out of your bone. And I don't know why, but that just sort of broke the laptop. So the whole time it's been running off the battery. I'm pretty impressed with that. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, that was a little weird. Basically what happened is the laptop decided that, hey, I'm about to run out of power, and it shut things down temporarily. We need the old school test pattern, the broadcast one with the round and all the different colours and black and white stripings. Uh, oh well. Anyway, so yeah, after that wedging process, which was on both toes, I sort of like couldn't really handle surgical procedures thereafter. I still had that youthful invincibility and whatnot thing for a great many years. That I didn't lose that until about, I think I was about 30. As soon as I hit 30, I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna die. So, you guys talking about screen replacements, premiums? Out here I'm still stuck with I can get really dodgy quality ones for maybe, so like for the 5 series for $19, but I'm still getting refurbs at the moment. I'll get too many issues with the aftermarkets for now, and I'm gonna have to look at things a bit more closely, because now that this other store is closed up, I am going to be getting all the disgruntled customers. And when I say disgruntled, I don't mean specifically that they're upset with the other store, but rather a lot of them went to the other store because they didn't like the fact that I called them out on things, or maybe they thought I was ripping them off, or maybe I upset them in the community group or something. Premium is refurbished for that company. Ah, right, very good. Don't have purple tint on the LCD, but don't have any logos. No. The only issue I've been getting with the refurbished lately, particularly with the 5 series, is I'm getting more and more pink tone ones, which means they've recycled them just a few too many times. So I'm kind of curious to see whether the price of the recycled ones is going to start going up for the 5 series. Oh, g'day Metaman. Yeah, well, thank you for dropping by. Sorry it's been a week or so since I last streamed. It's been busy with renovating the office. I did the last segment of the video of the office tonight when I was cleaning everything up, at least acceptably well, and I'll put that all together and upload it at some point. You have a pink tone, yeah. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, well, that means I'm alive and I'm wearing poor fashion choice clothes. I do need to buy myself a set of polo shirts with a logo and all the same color or something like that. I'm dark grey, like yeah, sort of charcoal-y color. That's really my preferred thing. White is definitely out. Red's definitely out. It's not my colour, it's just a case of it's weekend, I couldn't care less. Well, Sanaka, I mean, I'm still here. G'day, Lun23. I'm sort of still here, but I'm closing up. Yeah, so, like I said, white is impossible. Anyone who's had pets or cats, things like that, they'll know as soon as you wear white, it's going to just show up everything. Chris, don't do that. Well, I gotta admit, Chris, at least that's better than the other things you send people. I mean, really, yeah, people are gonna put you on a ban list or something like that. It's the coil in pink. Oh dear. Alright, listen, it's 2:30 in the morning, so I probably really should head off to sleep. I need to get some sleep soon. It seems like every time I try to get sleep, something comes along and I don't get it. So, look, I appreciate you all jumping in. I'm sorry it's been as long as it has since the last stream, and I still haven't done the DD rescue video, but part of that is I was doing one, and the job I needed to do it on actually required me to get a new feature in DD rescue. Unfortunately, they added it, but I won't be covering that in the tutorial that I'm planning on doing because it's a really exotic corner case situation that I came across. But yeah, I'll be getting onto it, and hopefully we'll get back to normal pace soon enough. In the meantime, everybody take care, and I'll see you all around the traps, as we say, and on all the live streams. No doubt I'll be one of the chatters there when Chris does his, or whoever's next. So until then, take care. I'll see you later. Oh, thanks, Mako.